miss. I call the shots, I never call it quits. Trust my intuition, bet it's right and bitch, it often is. Seen too many others come and go, they had the wrong intent. Do it out of love and never for it, then I watch it get bigger than expected. No second guess it, I let it set it. It's God's plan, we out here only accepting blessings. I'm stuck with it, this mindset is terminal. In and out different terminals, leveling up is personal. And I already made it, y'all can miss me. It's hard to believe I made something from nothing. No hindsight discussions, I've been writing, I love it.
Welcome to the 3 Gig Sports Podcast, where we are never wrong, just sometimes misinformed. This is Danny G, sitting alongside Jimmer and Rio today. Rio's back, baby. So we've got the full crew. I love it. We're putting this out a little bit later than normal. We had an alleged tornado situation coming through, so we kind of waited the storm out. But how'd it turn out, Rio?
It was, it was way overhyped.
Way overhyped.
Which, I just bought this house, so I'm like, oh, that's the way my luck would go. I'd buy a brand new house and fucking tornado comes through and blows it down. So.
Right. I was expecting your boat to just be gone.
Thank God. See ya. Farewell.
See ya. Been a good run.
Shit. Yeah. So we got through that. Weather's looking better. It's just going to get chilly tonight, but that's all good for us. We're actually not even running as many heaters in this garage,
It
folks.
was 60 today in
yeah.
December.
Yeah. It got so warm in my house, I told Jimmer I almost turned the air on today. I was like, I'm hot. This is bullshit. But anyway, we got some news going on today. We've got some things to talk about all over the world when it comes to sports. But per the usual, Jimmer, kick us off, baby.
All right. An autopsy revealed unusually severe brain disease in the frontal lobe of a former NFL player, Philip Gaines, who was accused of fatally shooting 6 people in Rock Hill, South Carolina, before killing himself in April. Authorities announced Tuesday.
Yeah.
That had CTE written all over it, right?
Yeah,
I did.
But they said abnormally bad. Because I think he was only like 23 or something like that. So he wasn't that old. It isn't like he'd been playing for...
Yeah.
He was 35 or something.
It's a shame that we can't catch that sooner. Or, look and try to get help. I mean, I don't know what there is for help, but to be able to... The way technology is these days, we can't... every 2 weeks we hook a player up to something and kind of just test their activity. And I don't know what you'd take, even if you found, oh, man, you've had severe, brain injury. What do we do with it? Or we make you sit out a couple weeks or what? But to be able to not see that until it's too late is almost a shame.
Yeah.
Definitely is, yeah. It's one of those things, like sometimes you hear the stories that family members are like, yeah, they've been kind of depressed or had issues going on recently, but not always. Sometimes it's like something just snaps and something, bad like this happens. So hopefully we're on the right track, though, to figure that shit out, because we got to do it before people pass away. We've got to do that. Yeah.
Washington football team owner Dan Snyder tried to prevent a woman who accused him of sexual misconduct from speaking with D.C. attorney Beth Wilkinson as part of her investigation into the franchise last year, the Washington Post reported.
Read the emails. Let's go. Open them all up.
Open them
This ain't it.
No, this ain't it. That shit needs to be available to the public at this point.
Yeah.
Like, let's see what's going on. We'll get some Reddit groups to figure out what the hell actually happened and what's really going down.
I need them to boost some of my Coinbase stuff is what I need.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
that franchise.
Jeez. I don't know. It's horrible to hear.
We can't be that far off from them
making him sell,
right? Because is this much? I understand race is obviously a big deal, but is this much different than Donald Sterling?
Right.
I mean, there could be a hell of a lot. It could be a hell of a lot worse than even that, because there could be even more that we don't know. Is my point. But the stuff we do know is kind of shitty already, right?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Even wasn't it a couple years back when they found out that he was flying cheerleaders to, I don't know if you remember it better than me, but to like an island, and they'd entertain people for him. It was a really fucked up.
There was a photo shoot for the season ticket holders of them being topless. There was that. I remember that. Yeah. Like that's the thing.
Yeah, they would fly him somewhere to do it.
And they feel like they have to, obviously, because as a cheerleader, you're not making a ridiculous amount of money or anything like that. There isn't other teams calling you because you're that much better of a cheerleader than what they already have. There's, you know.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely.
If the owner comes up to you and says, "Hey, we need
it's
to,"
a cornered market for sure. So yeah, you're trying to protect that. Your stake in there at all cost.
100%. Yeah.
We'll sit here and keep going down this one right here. We'll tie both of these in. The Jaguars owner, Shad Khan, on Monday said he's going to take his time evaluating the performance of head coach Urban Meyer amid the team's 2-11 record and rumors of internal agony, is the word I'll use. Khan told reporter, he told him that Monday that he prefers not to make hasty decisions about coaches. Then what comes across today, in the latest negative headline surrounding them, head coach Urban Meyer, the team's former kicker Josh Lambo, alleged first-year NFL coach kicked him during warm-ups. From Lambo, he says, "I'm in a lunge position," he told Rick Stroud of the Tampa Bay Times. "Left leg forward, right leg back." Urban Meyer, while I'm in that stretch position, comes up to me and says, "Hey, dipshit, make your fucking kicks." And he kicks me in the leg. Lambo then said he confronted Meyer about it. It certainly wasn't as hard as it could have done, but it certainly wasn't a love tap. Truthfully, I'd register as a 5 out of 10. Which in the workplace, I don't care if it's football or not, the boss can't strike an employee. And for a second, I couldn't believe it actually happened. Pardon my vulgarity, I said, "Don't you ever fucking kick me again." And his response was, as in Urban Meyer's, was, "I'm the head ball coach. I'll kick you whenever the fuck I want." End quote.
Get him out of there. You can't have a guy like that on a team treating players like that. How are you going to get players to back you and play for you? That's a big deal. Mm-hmm. Players playing for the coach and how yeah. In any other workplace in the United States, that's not tolerable. Shouldn't be tolerable in the NFL.
No, in no way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Danny, you'd probably take it, wouldn't you?
No.
Oh yeah, dude,
no, sir.
that face is
that fucker.
B-I-T.
I would have been fired. I'd be looking for a different team for sure. I'd have been cut. I would have whooped his ass right there. But,
right.
So here's the deal: you guys have been in the fucking lunge position, right?
Yeah.
How great is your balance when you're in that position?
Yep.
Right, and somebody comes up and kicks you. I don't care how hard it is. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
We talked about this the last episode that you missed, but I don't care how good of a college coach you are. You can't come into the NFL like you run shit and like you fucking know what you're doing and you've earned some type of respect or anything like that, man. You cannot do that.
And you sure as hell, because if he's like we said last time, it's like if you're doing that in the NFL to people that are paid high prices, what the hell were you doing in college to these kids then?
Yeah, especially no deal deals.
Yeah.
No deal deals. So you had all control.
Yeah. You didn't just develop this overnight, right?
Right. And let's talk about of everything you're worried about your kicker.
Yeah.
I'd have been like, bitch, make fucking better play calls. Get the team behind you. What are you talking about?
No kidding.
My 3 points that I might have missed isn't what costed us the 21-point loss. Okay?
Right. I don't play defense.
Right. Get the hell out of here.
I also don't throw interceptions either. So
I've been on that bandwagon since week 2 or 3. Get him the hell out of there. He does.
Yep.
He's doing a terrible job. It's it's
obviously toxic.
Oh my god. Yeah, I couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
Imagine.
I don't even think. Does he get a college job even after, say, they fire his
ass?
Oh,
yeah, because there's still colleges that still want that chance at winning. So they'll be, I don't know, let's say Indiana, anything like that. That's still a major team. I mean, one of the FBS
Kansas,
teams.
After they went
Kansas.
Les Miles, after all that.
Yeah. But I think they'd still roll the dice for that. I mean, they like their coach that they have, actually. Kansas is. They think he's building what they want. They're competing. But I just mean universities like that. They're like, absolutely, they'll take that shot. They're like, well, you know what? We'll deal with it as it goes if one of the kids say that you kicked them. So.
Yeah, he's proven in college, right?
Yeah.
There's, I don't know. And how many stops did he make teams champions?
Utah was high. I'm not saying champions, but Utah was obviously highly successful at that time. He was at like Bowling Green or something like that before that, and he was successful. Won a championship at Florida, Ohio State. Yeah, so.
Yep. I don't care. He's garbage in the NFL. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
He may be, let's be honest, it's looking like he's a garbage human being.
yeah. Period. Yep.
Like, either that or this is the weirdest amount of, like, lies I've ever seen in my life pile up. Tampa Bay Buccaneers head coach Bruce Arians reiterated Tuesday he's yet to make a final decision about the future of wide receiver Antonio Brown, who received a 3-game suspension for originally presenting the NFL with a fake COVID-19 vaccine card.
Yeah, it puts him in a tough spot because he was so adamant about you will not play for this team if you're not vaccinated, and the alleged cover-up, So it'll be real interesting to see because he's always come off as that hard-ass, kind of coach, following it to the T. So it'll be interesting to see, especially since he was balling and, putting up numbers, and you're looking like you're cruising to be one of the top Super Bowl contenders right now. So, yeah, that'll be real interesting to see what he does.
Yeah, the thing working against Antonio right now is they're playing really well. If they started to slide and it looked like maybe Brady doesn't have the same connection with different players and things like that, I could see him, okay, yeah, fine, he's going to play. But the way they're playing, I could see him just the way he is. I'm not saying he should.
No,
the way he is.
I'm not taking a shot.
Well,
at
I
yours.
thought that's where you were.
I'm just saying,
I'm not
I
taking
mean-
a shot at anything you're saying.
Okay.
The first thing I thought of, honestly, I'm going to read that first line, that part. Bruce Arians reiterated Tuesday he is yet to make a final decision about the future. That line to me says, I have yet to talk to Tom Brady. Because if he was the head football coach, we know exactly what you already said about how adamant he was about this. This would already been a done deal, my friend.
Yeah, it's a fair point.
That is a done deal. He would have been already gone. No, this just tells me that Tom Brady's been too busy and hasn't been able to sit down with him to discuss if it's okay if I cut Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you keep him?
That's yeah.
I think you do.
I say you do. I
I
mean,
say
look at
you-
Mike
I s-
Evans always being banged up lately. So, yeah, keep him around. Why not?
No, like whatever level you want to take this. If it's so he made it. That's the worst mistake he's made. Come on. We watched him vandalize and what? Didn't he borderline beat up like a moving truck guy? Like, come on. Like this is it right here. This wouldn't have happened if I've already discussed my opinion on this. This would not have happened had you not made him feel like he had to do it in the first place.
Yeah.
Right?
There
He
you go.
wouldn't have done that. If you would have said, hey, we're down for anyone's choice. We would like you to.
Mhm.
We think it'd be best for you, but ultimately we're going to stand back. We're going to let you make your own call, right?
Yep.
If they would have done that, would that have happened?
No.
He wouldn't have provided a fake one, right?
Yeah.
There's no need
No.
to at that point.
As soon as you found out, because we talked about there's probably no place Antonio Brown would have been able to been accepted in the NFL. The only reason why he's in the NFL is
Mr.
Tom Brady.
Mr. Tom Brady.
Yes, sir.
And that's what and they have success with each other. So he knows that this is his only stop. So he felt, in my opinion, it looks like he felt like he had to. Unless something else comes out later, which it could, but that's how I take it. So but this statement right here just had written all over. That's the first thing I thought of. So you haven't talked to Tom. Gotcha.
Yeah.
You haven't asked Coach Brady yet if it's okay.
That's totally true. And I think if you're the coach and you look at that, like how much easier the game is for Tom when Antonio's out there. Like he has so many different options and he can always count on Brown. Why would you even hesitate? Like you want to win another Super Bowl, right?
Mm-hmm.
He, adds to that level. Guys can't guard you. There's no defense that can really stop that team
His
when
route
everybody's
running,
clicking.
yeah. Yep.
Like, yeah.
Let's see. Kind of a big one. Former University of Oklahoma quarterback Spencer Rattler announced Monday that he is transferring to the South Carolina. His former tight end Austin Stogner from Oklahoma also announced that he's going to be joining the Gamecocks with him.
Kind of surprising choice to me. I know they had relationships with the coach over there that was on the OU staff and then went over there. So I thought it was a weird choice, him being from California and all that kind of stuff. I figured he'd head out that way and, maybe get revenge, try to play USC once or twice,
Or Texas.
Nah, I thought he would try to honestly go into the Pac-12 somewhere. That way
If
he'd
he
get
really,
a shot at
I'm just
USC.
saying, if he really wanted to kind of throw. Well, I
Not
see what
really.
you're saying because
Yeah.
that would be the coach, but I just
Right.
mean like, hey,
I
if
thought
you
he'd
really
go
want
to
to
a
spurn
team.
them to be. Well, you remember, hold on, calm down. Remember, the fans were booing him at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So how do you get back at Oklahoma? You go to their rival, who also need a quarterback.
You can't really do anything to the fans, but you can
That's
certainly
how you,
one up your coach.
That's
that
how you get the
walked away
fans
from
back.
you.
You go play for Texas, and then you beat them in the Red River rivalry. That's exactly how you do that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know.
He went to a spot so he could be the guy, right?
Yeah, I think that's ultimately what it was.
because competition's going to be way stiffer where he went than the
Mm-hmm.
freaking Big 12, right? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it's the best move. I don't think he improves his stock. There's no way he can, right? You were
Well, maybe
you were on a team
facing
with
better
the-
defenses, maybe.
Maybe this helps them. Yeah. So, I agree with you, but maybe he's thinking that this will help bring in some recruits too, like that will help surround him. They were competitive-ish, South Carolina this year. Last year, I do believe they were abysmal bad, but I think this year they're at least competitive, if I remember correctly. So, I agree with you. If you're gonna go to the SEC, maybe you should have looked for. Why didn't you go to like Auburn, who Bo Nix has entered the transfer portal too, by the way?
Yeah. So
Why wouldn't you go there then? At least like Auburn, you know that they're going to get 4 and 5 stars in that range because that's what they get. They just get the quieter versions of it. And I don't know. It's the Gamecocks. I don't
Yeah.
know.
about to get whooped up by Georgia. What's up?
Nah, I don't know. Georgia's been shown.
Yeah, no, my
Maybe
point
just
is like
fine.
he wasn't successful with the quarterback guru, right? With Lincoln Riley in a conference that doesn't have great defense. And now
Well, he was just not this year.
Yeah.
Last year he was
just
successful.
struggled this year.
I don't know if
A lot.
he let a lot of mental stuff go to his head, but yeah, no,
Yeah, I mean-
I don't disagree with you. I just mean
I think a lot of it is mental. You have that 5-star quarterback staring at you in the back, right? You have potential number 1 draft pick being thrown around start of the year. So you're starting to he starts to force things, right? And so yeah, it definitely could be mental stuff.
we'll see.
Yeah. Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas will host the Super Bowl. I don't know what number it's going to be. LV3 on February 11th,
Get it?
2024, according to Las Vegas Review Journal. Super Bowl, it was set to originally be in New Orleans, but was moved out of the city due to the game overlapping with Mardi Gras.
Hey, let's go. Let's get tickets. Go party.
One party city to another, so it's not exactly a bad.
Yeah.
But New Orleans, like, hold on, that's cute and everything, but we Mardi Gras down here for like a couple weeks at a time, and that's our moneymaker, not
Yeah.
a 1 or a week event or whatever it is.
Yeah, so we got to think through Roman numerals, right? So what would that be, 58? Is that what that is? Is that where we're
Is
at?
that what it is?
LV3? Yeah.
Yeah, 58.
We're good. We got this.
We're getting it.
Mason City High School. Shout out.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, boy. Got the education. Florida State announced that it has verbally agreed to a 1-year contract extension with head coach Mike Norvell, whose deal will now run through the 2026 season. Norvell has coached FSU for 2 seasons, amassing an 8-13 record overall and a 6-10 ACC record.
Giving them time to build. I
Which-
like that.
Yeah.
I like
Well,
that.
we
and trying
usually-
to bring in recruits.
We do usually beat up on these colleges that pull the rug out from underneath guys pretty quick.
And
I
they-
don't know if you needed to give him an extension, though, I guess is my first thought.
Yeah.
Because
He
it
was
was only
already
a 1
there
year,
for-
so you're there for 4 more years.
Right.
Right.
So I don't know what that is unless he had one on the hook for he has like a quarterback in that 2025 class. Or
I wonder if it had anything to do with stretching out money too, or anything like that. Who knows?
Yeah,
Ask Bert Kreischer's from Florida State, baby.
that's right. The Van Wilder.
Yeah.
Whoa, I was gonna say-
you need to let some of these people know you can't just drop a line like that.
That's true. I guess I haven't brought it up before. So, for those of you that don't know, Van Wilder, that story was based on Bert Kreischer's life. Like, he legit was at Florida State
For
for
7
like
years.
7-8 years.
Yep.
Everything was based off of him, but then they didn't give him any money for it.
No credit.
There's no credit.
Wow.
There's nothing. That's legitimately how he lived for that time.
He legitimately went there for like it was like 7 years, and he was
Yeah.
like the party animal and all that stuff, and the cool guy, and
Yeah, he was the king of that shit. Yeah.
yeah.
But no, I was gonna say I don't have a strong opinion about this. Like, I think the coach, you don't really know that, because that quarterback, that's the guy that had, was it like knee surgery or something for Florida State, and he came back late.
Milton.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they played better with him. Not great still toward the end of the year, but they did play better, more competitive. So maybe it's kind of one of those, when he's got his guys, they'll keep going. But
They had a very up and down season. Like
Yeah.
they almost won. They got a close game against Notre Dame to start the season. You remember walk-off field goal for Notre Dame. They lost to, I do believe, an FCS school this year. And then
Jackson State or something like that, right?
something like that. But they've been kind of like all over the place. So I don't know. Maybe they see something that they're competing, and hey, give them time to grow, I guess. I was just shocked that they gave him another year. Like, you already had him for 4 more. Is my point. Like, it isn't like you're like, okay, we're not gonna fire you. We're gonna keep living on the contract that we already had, I guess. UConn's Paige Buecher's out 8 weeks after officially undergoing surgery on her knee.
Yeah. That's
UConn lost that first game after she was out too. I noticed. After I would say that because you brought up this could be a bigger deal, because women's college basketball is getting a hell of a lot more competitive across the landscape, and I do believe they lost that very next game after she was out. So
yeah, it's a big deal. You think about the timing, 8 weeks. So if everything works out, she might be back for March Madness, right?
Just
The
warm up,
tournament, so-
warm up just before that, probably.
Yeah.
Yep. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see. It is a big deal, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are down to number 7 now. They have 2 losses.
Do you remember when UConn could lose?
Yes.
What was that? How many games was that? Like, they went
Oh,
like
man.
100 and something, or was it 70? It was an astronomical number
Yeah.
straight. And then they lost one game, and then they went on another like 40 game like win streak or something like that. Like, they have 2 this year.
Yeah, that's big time. Dropping to 7.
Fire him.
He's probably, I was
Fire
going to
him.
say, he's probably pulling his
You're
hair
already
out.
slipping.
Yeah.
Here's a crazy one. Ex-NFL player Josh Bellamy gets 3 years in prison for COVID relief fraud. According to court records, Bellamy obtained a Paycheck Protection Program loan of $1.2 million for his company, Drip Entertainment LLC, using falsified documents and false information. Bellamy admitted to using loan proceeds on personal items such as jewelry and a stay at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. Bellamy also sought loans on behalf of his family members and close associates.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, I remember when he was playing
He-
receiver
he-
for Chicago.
He was just in the NFL like last
Right.
year, though. Like 2020, I do believe
Right.
was his last year with the Jets, maybe.
I like the name of the company.
yeah.
Drip.
Yeah.
LLC.
It-
Yeah.
What sucks is, like, there's a lot more than just a handful of people that abuse that program.
Yeah, there was like I think 9 other people, I want to say, that were
Mm-hmm.
part of this whole deal. And you know what's a shame to me is that these guys come up through college and nobody can teach them how to manage money. Nobody can teach them how to manage money. It's just a shame.
Yeah, I'm going further than that. I'm saying a lot of big companies
Oh, yeah.
abuse this money,
Oh,
too.
yes.
And nobody's going to jail there.
Oh, hold on.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
let's
You know,
let's
like-
make this perfectly clear. I may or may not be part of a company that got that said package, right?
Right.
It would have been much bigger because it's a bigger company. But this wasn't supposed to be for the big companies. That's the reason why this should be an insult to any company that took it that had the means to
Yeah,
make
didn't
it.
need
This
it.
this was supposed to be for companies, small companies, obviously like that one.
Like
Drip
Drip
LLC,
LLC, baby. Definitely needed it.
But it was supposed to be for that, to make sure that we
Yeah.
keep the small businesses rolling, is what it was supposed to be. So every company outside of that had the means and everything that was plenty
Yeah,
big enough
took it, you're
should
a
be embarrassed that they took it.
POS.
You are a piece of shit at that point, right?
Yep.
And that is a fact to me. Like, you literally prevented other companies that it was supposed to be for from getting it because they only had so much for it.
Yeah, because remember, didn't the Lakers or was it Lakers
Yeah,
or Boston? Somebody,
Tom
get
Brady
money
did.
back.
somebody, yeah,
Tom
took
Brady
it.
did.
The Lakers did too, and they had to pay it back.
They paid it
Yeah,
back.
Lakers paid it back, but Tom Brady did too, and he bought a yacht. I know you remember that.
I don't.
I know he's your. Oh, you don't remember
no,
that?
I don't remember that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember if him buying the yacht.
Oh,
but
well,
I do remember the Lakers one being big time.
We'll look this up.
Yeah, I got enough press. That's kind of what pushed him to have to give the money back.
Give the money
finally.
back. Yeah.
Yeah. So Tom Brady.
You can look that up. The first thing I thought of, Rio, was like, why isn't Brett Favre in jail? He did the same damn thing, right?
Yeah.
You
no
just
kidding.
pay it back. Well,
I'll just pay it back, maybe, but you have to
Maybe.
keep hassling.
Right here.
yeah.
So Tom Brady is facing huge backlash for buying a $2 million yacht after his company, TB12, received a Paycheck Protection Program loan of $960,000. Shit like that.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, this was back about this time last year, 2020.
Maybe he thinks TB12 company is a small company.
I'm not saying it isn't. Like
Yeah.
that maybe it should be, but you shouldn't be out there buying a yacht then. Like, that's a bad image, in my opinion.
It's a bad image for sure.
It's a bad image.
yeah. Yeah.
Maybe wait.
Maybe hold on. Maybe it's with his wife's money. Come on.
Well, yeah, but prove that it is. You'd come front row and center if that was the case. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You come front row. Whoa. That money literally, I can show, got distributed between the employees and making sure we can keep going and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And show that literally my wife bought this with hers, and or my game paycheck paid for that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, he hasn't not once said anything like that to my knowledge, so.
I'm going to guess he don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I probably don't. But I'm
Zero
still the golden
votes.
boy.
Zero
I'm still the golden boy. I'll just keep winning. They'll forget.
That's right.
Crazy world. High number of positive COVID-19 tests on Monday had the NFL and NFLPA considering further changes to the league's coronavirus protocols as the regular season enters its final 4 weeks. I will go ahead and tie that into the NFL. A little borderline injury news because I was going to say Cardinals DeAndre Hopkins to miss the rest of the regular season with a knee injury with hopes that he is ready for the playoffs. But tying it into the positive COVID tests were up to 76 as of this morning, with the Browns having 14 of them.
Yeah, and it just came across Washington as 18.
Okay, so Washington has 18.
Yeah.
There's, damn.
Cool.
What is that, 32?
Yeah, the whole policy is weird to me anyway. Like, these guys are sweating on each other, breathing on each other, all that stuff, right? You've got, what's an average? 50,000 fans in the stands where you don't have a vaccination, anything. But you're worried about these 50 guys that are on the field. Yeah, 50, 60 guys, whatever, on the field. Like,
Right.
my thing is, if the players aren't worried about it, you shouldn't be worried about it, right? That's...
Well, the NFLPA is strongly trying to back their players. So they're trying to add another COVID test. The NFLPA. So that's for the players are trying to get another test. Like, it has to be 2 tests a week. So that's actually the players wanting that for their own.
Yeah. No, if all these
The
guys
NFL is all
are
of
vaccinated,
them.
all you had to do is show a positive, or a negative test.
Two negative
tests right before
2
game day.
consecutive negative tests.
So-
Yep.
As long as you are vaccinated, which most of them sounds like they are.
97% last time I heard, I think. But that being said, it's weird. It didn't prevent them from getting the Rona.
Yeah, the only thing they should be worried about is if guys have symptoms, right? If they've got the cough, if they're, just woozy, all those different things that you can get, you lost taste. Okay, maybe this guy shouldn't play, whatever, because somebody else could get it. But if you're not symptomatic, it's not as big a deal. Vaccinated or not, that whole thing. I don't know. The way they keep trying to push this shit is annoying. That's what it comes down to.
You're going to find something if you keep looking for it.
right.
That's a fact. And I understand that it's a pandemic,
yeah.
but the more and more you look for something, if you go out right now, if we all quit doing this and quit our jobs and we all went on a treasure hunt and we dedicated our life to it and that we were sitting there fucking digging, we will find something.
Right.
It's a matter of time. You will find something if you
I
keep
got
looking.
you some treasure right here, Jimmer.
Yeah.
Hand check.
Hey, chick.
The family jewels. O.J. Simpson is a free man.
I did see that.
The former football player and actor acquitted California murder defendant was convicted of in Las Vegas of armed robbery.
The glove doesn't fit.
The glove don't fit. Was granted good behavior credits and discharged from parole effective December 1st, a day after a hearing before the Nevada Board of Parole.
Yeah. He out.
It's still one of the craziest things in human history. Like
Yeah.
like in general civilized
Yeah.
human history.
It's crazy.
That a
You just-
man that is walking around that is a
that
murderer.
is a murder. He did it.
And he makes jokes about it on
and
Twitter.
makes
Yeah.
jokes about it and takes photo bombs of people like you know bloody
Okay.
murder scene. They turn it into a joke. This woman is no longer on the planet, and it's just crazy to me that we just look at something that's okay. Still one of the greatest attorneys of all time.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how I don't think they even know how. I bet you even when they walked out, he's like, I don't know how the hell I pulled that off, but
We got it. We famous.
we famous.
We out this beach. Yeah.
Former Celtics president Danny Ainge hired by the Jazz as alternate governor and CEO.
That's crazy to think that he's gonna do that after being with, a storied career and with Boston and everything, and to go over to the Jazz, and I don't know. Crazy thought on my part. I don't know if it's.
Yeah, that's
I don't
exactly
know.
what I
It's just-
said.
That's
Like,
crazy to
I
think
just
that
can't
he
see
gets
him.
those steps away from
Mhm.
Boston in general.
Yep. Yeah, that's when I think of him. That's all I think of.
Yep.
Right.
So it's the weirdest thing. All right.
And my last one. Stephen Curry is a new 3-point king of the NBA.
You got something in your mouth, Jimmer.
Steph Curry is the new 3-point king of the NBA.
Steph Curry is the new 3-point
Big
king.
baller, and so is his
of the
dad, who
NBA.
shows up with 3 Instagram models on the night that he
Love
breaks
it.
the 3-point record. Isn't that crazy?
Ah, jeez.
Did you see?
the war? What's that?
I was gonna say he gave Rolexes to.
Yeah, and KD he's like, "Where's mine?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like, send the rollie.
Yep.
Send the rolly, baby.
Stargard became the all-time leader in three-pointers Tuesday night in a 105-96 win over the New York Knickerbockers in Madison Square Garden, passing Hall of Famer Ray Allen by knocking down the 2,974th of his career. Ray Allen and Reggie Miller were both present for that too. He did call himself the GOAT, so that instantly does not. He said he called himself the GOAT shooter.
The greatest
Yeah.
shooter of all
It don't
time.
matter. You don't say it.
Yeah.
Remember? You're not allowed to say it. Even Jordan says it. Remember when we
Well,
were like beating up LeBron because he was hinting at it?
I
and
do
blah,
agree
blah,
with
blah?
his reasoning, though. Did you hear his
No,
reasoning?
I don't
He goes, he's like, I would never say it, since I didn't have the record. But now that I have the record and I'm continued to build on the record, I feel comfortable saying I am the GOAT of shooting.
Can't do it.
Yep.
Even
So,
Jordan said
I
he
get
couldn't
it.
say that. He's like, I
I
felt
get
uncomfortable.
Yeah, Jordan
calling it.
said that to people, but
Yeah.
behind the scenes,
Come on. He knew.
you know better.
He's
Oh,
like,
right,
"What's
but
up?"
exactly. Was this behind the scenes, or did he say this to everybody?
Doesn't matter.
I can't remember.
He also did this in 500, 600 less games than Ray Allen.
That's so. You guys can talk about this all you want. You guys want to go into Spanky Turtle? This is what happens when you get the clear way to shoot from wherever the hell you are. So he did change the game. I have to give him that 100%. People call like when they go out like way beyond ridiculous three. Curry, you got to call out Curry.
Who the hell
You
says
know,
that?
Who
I've
the
never heard
hell
that.
says that? I've never heard that in my entire life.
First off, you're a wrestler. You don't play basketball.
Doesn't matter.
Second off, Danny
I
hasn't
still-
played basketball in like 17 years. So
I still have never.
We're about to go up to the rec center
Heard
and have
that.
another one of our competitions.
yeah, I'll whoop
okay?
that ass.
No,
go.
I'm gonna wear a GoPro and we're gonna go up and first off,
Dude, my
I will
ankle
kill
still
both
isn't
of you.
100%, and I'll still murder both
What
you
are
in
you
shooting.
No better.
Get out of here.
all
Oh my
day.
God.
Get out of here
All day.
No.
So my point is
I
that
remember when
very
a
few-
70-year-old man beat you in horse.
no, I beat him, but
No,
it's okay.
I don't know.
Oh, we try to skew the rules. It's some horseshit. Either way, so no player that you can think of, I guarantee you cannot come up with one, had got the free range to shoot from wherever the hell he wanted. Because if you come up in you come across half court
Kobe.
within a couple feet of crossing half court, and you're pulling up and launching, your ass would be benched.
Yeah, but why
No.
was he given that free range?
No, because that team was really bad when he came in. That's why.
No, that's not why.
That is why. They
It's because
drafted
he
him.
makes those
'Cause he can
shots,
make it.
dude.
Everyone can make it if you sit there and take them. What I'm saying is, when you get benched, when you play for a bad team, they just let him roll. He played for a bad team. Where was he drafted? Was he drafted
You
in
still
the
have to
second
have a
round?
good. I mean, you
Was he
can't
drafted in the second
shoot
round?
22% and
Ish, yeah.
No, he was not. He was drafted in the first
round. He
Late
was,
first, though.
No, early first.
Yeah.
It was
How early?
Flynn was
top 8.
Yep, Flynn was
taken by the
7,
Wolves.
6.
Yes.
I didn't
something
think
like
it was
that.
that early. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
So he was. So you went to the Golden State Warriors, who were bad. You get free range. You get to shoot from wherever. It can't get any worse. It's already pretty shitty here.
Oh, so
And-
those first couple years carried him to this record. That's what you're saying right now?
No. See, now you're missing. I'm just saying, any other player, if you come across half court, they would have benched your ass. You might not even touch the court the next time you did it.
Right.
But they didn't do that. They just let him do whatever. And
But he's
allowed to free
making them
range.
though.
He wasn't making every single shot after you do it. So you make one and then you miss 4 of them doing it. You know what
He
I'm
was
saying?
still shooting a good percentage though.
I'm talking about from the deep, like the deep, not the
The
right
deep.
or wrong thing. I'm not taking away from that 3-point
Still
record.
all goes
That's
on
still,
a 3-point percentage.
when you go into this era, of shooting, this is what it's going to be, and this record will be passed in 10 years.
Ooh,
10 years?
10
Probably.
years.
The way it is now, yeah. The way the NBA is now, probably 10 years. I would have to look and see who's in the.
I agree. It's going to get
I shouldn't.
passed,
I shouldn't like just throw a number on there. Maybe 15, but because I don't know who's even the next closest that and how long in their career they
Right.
already are. I would have to actually look, and then I can give you like top 3 that I think would do it and do it pretty quickly. 'Cause that's what the NBA is now.
Yeah.
You launch. Your star player is supposed to be launching 8 to 10 3-pointers a game. Launching them. I'm not saying you're making them, but you're throwing up 10 3-pointers a game.
So
it's going to get passed.
be fair about this, though. When Steph Curry shoots the ball, and I don't care where he's shooting it from, what's the first thought that comes into your head? That's going
God,
in.
that's shitty.
That's going in.
God, it's
Every
going
time.
Kind of like when
You
you,
know
see
it
my
is.
shot.
You would like to hate like I do on the Cardinals here in the NFL.
No.
But you know damn well every time he shoots, you think, fuck,
Hater.
he made it. Every time.
We got a hater.
Hater in the building. So I will say,
Haters in the building.
I'll give you that dumbass shit. Because yeah, when he does get his shot off, I'm like, because when he gets on fire, it is dangerous. This is even a hater statement. The best 3-point shooter that I have ever seen were the 2 guys that were in attendance.
Yeah,
Here-
so what else you got for the news? I don't think you're making any sense.
No, I'm being serious. Like watching them play, and it wasn't a 3-point era. Tell me Reggie Miller, he was an assassin, and it wasn't a 3-point era.
But that's
Ray
all he
Allen,
did.
Ray Allen, when he was shooting from the corner, you didn't think the same thing?
That's all they did, though.
And now they
Reggie
don't-
Miller?
and
No,
now they
Reggie
don't
Miller
have
was the
most.
star of the Pacers. Stop it right now. I will take your NBA card away from you if you
Yeah,
want to
he
bring
was-
that.
Yeah,
Yes, he was the
He
best
wa- he
player
was.
on that
the
team.
Pacers. He was.
for the most part.
He was a
Until the-
superstar in this
towards
league.
the end.
And that is all Ray Allen did.
And no, and you're also wrong again. For the first
Oh my
like 7,
God.
8 years of his career, he was the superstar of the Bucks also and the Sonics.
But
he
what
was
did
not
he
just
do?
he was not just a 3-point shooter.
Okay.
No. Later in his career, you're 100% right. When he went
Mm-hmm.
to Boston, when he went down to Miami, yes. Absolutely. I agree with you. Prior to that, he was the star for them.
So he had the ball. He took it to the cup. He dished it out to
Yes.
people. He did
Yes.
everything the whole game. That's what he did?
Yes.
Or did he happen to do that sometimes?
They weren't allowed to. What did I just say earlier? You were not allowed to shoot that many threes back then. They didn't play that style ball. You launched maybe 6, 7. Their average is 10. When you're talking about him smashing, hitting that record, what was it? He was supposed to hit 15, and they were actually talking about it. That's because they know that he has the green light to shoot it 20 times from 3 if he wants to. That wouldn't happen in the old school NBA.
I need to see how deep his hatred is. Is Steph,
I don't
Steph
know.
Curry a Hall of Famer, Jimmer?
Yes.
Okay, thank God.
I'm
Whew,
so
I was about
I'm
to
so
walk
torn
upset.
on it wouldn't happen in this
Yes.
era or that era because nobody's gonna score 100 points in this era. But Wilt Chamberlain did back then, but it's not gonna happen.
I
in
could
this
see
era.
I could see the 100-point happening because of the 3-point shot. It happened. I mean, who's the dude that just hit like 70 not that long ago? Like just a couple years ago. could even like if the game is still within reach, Steph Curry could even hit the 100-point mark. Because I just said when he hits his hot streak,
Could.
it is nasty.
I don't think it will. Though.
It'd be hard. It's one of the hardest records that would go down. If it happens, it'd be the greatest feat
I'm
ever.
saying. Nobody's gonna. I don't think anybody's gonna do that again. But it was in that time. One guy did it because he was this big, tall dude. You throw it down right in the middle and stood up and dunked it right.
Actually, the more fascinating thing is that he went like 26 of 28 from the free throw line when he was actually at 50% or below.
That's
free throw
actually
shooter.
pretty impressive. For a
Yeah.
big
So
guy.
that same game,
Yeah.
like a quarter of his points came from the free throw line.
But you get what I'm saying. So to say, well, it's this error or that error, it's like take the record for what it's worth because, yes, sure, it's not, but there's never going to be an asterisk beside any of it. You know.
Mm-hmm. He's a Hall of Famer, but I'm tired of seeing all these guys like blow every little thing. Like they're talking about him being not just the GOAT shooter. Like it literally came across their phone. Like people talk about, is he the greatest of all time? I'm like, are you shitting me right now?
Yeah, they can slow down with that.
Like, come
Yeah.
on. But that's
I mean,
where it's going.
I don't.
Yeah.
That's where the conversation goes. I'm like,
For,
dude,
for those of us that have common sense, that we know that that's not it.
Right.
just trying to tone people down. That's all I'm trying to do. Just calm down. So for instance, like this morning when I was rolling back and on the radio, they were talking about it. They're like, if it wasn't for, I think it was on Morning Man on Sirius XM. They even stated, they're like, we don't even know if this would be as big a deal if it wasn't Steph Curry because he's a lovable guy. And a lot of people love and respect him, this, that, and the other. They don't even know because they're like, I don't know if we'd be making this big a deal. This, even the lead up to this, we've been talking about it for a week and a half, 2 weeks, and that's what I was getting at. It's like, and then everyone blows the whole Steph Curry and blah 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 blah. You know what? You could not beat LeBron with his full team and without calling in KD. So you are not anywhere in the ballpark of the greatest of all time. That was my point. The one thing I got to give you guys props on, am I still able to keep going? Or okay, just want to make sure. The one thing I got to give you guys agreements and props on is that whenever that dude does pull up, especially right outside the 3-point cylinder, I do think it's going in every time. And I think that it's like almost a 50-50 shot if he's even a step inside the logo. So
You don't have to keep talking about me like that, but
no, I've seen you shoot,
do
son.
appreciate it.
I seen you. I told you anytime I can go 3 for 10 from 3-point range with my eyes closed.
That's wrong.
No, I can. Right up here at the rec center.
yeah,
At the rec center. I don't know about NBA size 3. I'm talking about the rec center 3.
Bulldog. Yeah, and I can go like 7 of 10. So
You want to throw? Let's throw something on this.
25-yard field goals are easy too.
I'm not saying
yeah.
that. I didn't once say I could kick.
Right.
field
We
goal.
Eric White. We got to get you out here
Yeah.
kicking a 25-yard field
Is that
goal.
what it is?
Whatever you
Or
guys
is it
said.
20?
It was an extra
27?
point. It was an extra point, and
yeah.
just a little more than an extra
But-
point. So
Yep. I was because it was also winter because he was talking about how the Vikings miss or whatever.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
I'm
we're
like,
gonna
dude,
do
it's not
this.
that
We're
easy.
gonna go to the rec center and check this out. We'll have a little 3-point competition.
All right.
I like it.
I'll whoop that ass.
Maybe we'll get a GoPro on.
Whoop that
Y'all
ass.
see
I'll
me
close my eyes to make it fair for you.
beat the
guys.
shit out of Jimmer, and you will see him not close his eyes because that's a lie.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. Each loser does 2 shots. Whiskey wager.
Oh,
Get it.
no. Okay. Yeah, let's do that shit.
You're already
Let's
choking. I
do
get it, man.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not joking.
Get it. You got
I
that
ain't
lump in your
joking.
throat, and it's not from your Adam's apple.
No, I'm not worried at all.
All right.
At
That-
all.
I seen a
that's,
70-year-old man beat him, so yeah, he's worried.
That's what
No.
you had for news, right?
Yep.
So before we go to the NFL, this is what I was alluding to. So for those of you that haven't seen the preview, check out the preview for Homecoming on Netflix. This is the story about when Sean Payton was suspended because of Bountygate, of him going back and coaching his son in high school.
Oh.
And it's a weird fit, but Kevin James actually plays Sean Payton in this movie.
Oh, I did hear about this.
It looks like there's a pretty long, I don't know, it's like a 3-minute preview or something, which is, pretty long for what they usually do.
Kevin
But
James,
it's
the
a
same
good-
guy that's the same size as me.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. But it looks really good. Like it comes out in January, like mid-January sometime. But I mean, I like it because I don't know everything that happened when he was gone and stuff like that.
Don't care. He
so-
should have never got a shot again.
Should never.
You're just salty because he did it to the
It
Vikings.
was.
Yeah,
It
that was our Super Bowl
That
year.
was our Super Bowl year, and
Yeah.
there was some dirty ass shit right there. You're
Yep.
damn right. I'm still salty. Super
Yep.
Bowl, you get robbed.
If y'all had
Decapitated.
just shown up after y'all beat him on the miracle play, if y'all had shown up the next round, y'all had been in the Super Bowl.
We should have had the first one.
Yep.
Bounty Gate.
Storyline, baby. That's the year, right? Isn't that the year the Saints won?
Yeah.
What was that?
Storyline,
Yeah.
baby.
Yep.
Hurricane Katrina that year,
Yeah,
right?
We'll
Yeah.
just go ahead and let it go.
Yep.
You know, we're seeing it. All right, so we were looking at these divisions, right? And we're getting some clarity, but the clarity is more towards the top. And Danny was bringing up, he's like, "Oh, it looks like it," and I'm like, "Some of these are a lot closer than what you think, right?" So we're coming down to the wire. We have the Ravens, Browns, Bengals in the AFC North, right? Separated by one game. Ravens leading at 8-5. Browns and Bengals 7-6 respectively. The Ravens are banged up.
Yeah, big
Right.
time.
I mean, Lamar, they said he avoided the high ankle sprain, but he still has a day-to-day
Right.
ankle sprain. That being said, what makes him special is
His mobility, baby.
right.
Yeah.
The Browns, we just alluded to, has 14 people on the COVID list. Could the Bengals win this division?
Yeah.
Like
They
they're
could.
the healthiest right now of everyone in this division. I mean, okay.
They're
am
young.
I,
That's
am I
the problem.
supposed to say that the Steelers still technically have a shot? They're 6-6-1.
I mean, technically, yeah.
Yeah, but who are you got in the AFC North from right here, from right now? We have 4 games left.
You know,
Stake your claim. This is it.
I would like to think Baltimore still pulls it out. I'm pulling up the Bengals, who they have to face: Broncos, Ravens, Chiefs, Browns. So that's tough, man. I'd love for the Bengals to do it. I just don't think they can. It's going to come down, I think, to Baltimore if they can overcome the injuries. If that quarterback can step in and ball out while Lamar's out, because I'm guessing he's going to miss another game. I'd assume. I'd almost bet that way.
That defense just, I don't know if that Marlon Humphrey thing is the one that finally puts the nail in the coffin.
Coffin for that defense.
Yeah, they've been basically band-aided together this year, right? All year, and that might have been the one where I don't know. I'm a Ravens fan. I think they can. Of course, I hope they can. But that being said, the Bengals are looking good. They have hit and miss, right? They're
Yeah.
still learning, but they're also the healthiest out of this whole group. And God, I don't know if the Ravens can hang on to this anymore. I really don't.
Yeah.
The Browns defense has been balling out too, so I shouldn't discount them completely.
Browns, yeah. This one is a real tough pick.
So you didn't even who are you picking then?
I'm gonna ride with the Ravens just because because I told you I'm a fan. That's
You know
the
what?
only reason why.
I'll
If
go
it
with
wasn't
that
for the
route.
fan, I think it'd be Cincy maybe.
I'd go that route, and I'm going to ride with my Cincy pick for them to finish last at first. Just
There you
because
go.
let's
Why
go
not?
with it. You know, why not?
Yeah, I think I'm going coaching here, and I think the Ravens, even though they're dinged up, I think they
The
will pull it
experience.
off.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they will.
I like that.
But with that said, looking at coaching, like there's a little bit of me, even though I shouldn't be, that's worried about the Steelers. I think they could end up ruining somebody's season. Trying to eke some wins out and get into the playoffs. I don't know if I don't know if they could win the division. I'll be upfront with that. But the coaching, since I'm riding the coaching boat right here, I could see them doing some damage too.
So one big positive I was just looking at, right, is the Ravens, 3 of their last 4 games are at home, where they are 5-1 up to this point.
Yep.
The Bengals split. They're at the Broncos, then Ravens, then Chiefs, then at the Browns. So
they're playing all potential playoff teams. I think all these guys are actually the rest of the season.
I
but-
think so.
yeah.
But I didn't. Let's see what the Browns had there too. But there we go. Browns have Raiders, Packers, Steelers, Bengals. They're 2-2. 2 on the road, 2 at home. The 2 on the road that could kind of hurt, obviously. The Packers, Christmas Day. Could be cold up there.
Yeah.
And then Steelers, who usually Big Ben owns, the old Big Ben at least, owns the Browns throughout his whole career. So That one might not be in the bag, and then it may come down to they face each other. The Bengals and Browns face each other in last week if the Ravens can't stave them both off. So, well, before we get to our next ones, let's go ahead and knock out my injury-plagued bet, and that's the only reason why it didn't come through. I did have a whiskey wager being the year that the Giants would have 9 wins. And like I just alluded to, a bunch of injuries.
And you were misinformed, so.
I don't know about misinformed,
Knock
but
it
bottoms
back.
up to this private first class,
Knock
baby.
it back. Knock it back. Knock it back. There we go. Finally paid up. We can erase that one.
Nice work.
Done deal. And we're still waiting on Danny's Oregon one
No, it's done, son.
from like 14 years ago.
Dude, we got hoodwinked
Ooh.
on that.
Oof.
The other thing to remember with the Bengals, though,
Jimmer up there. Woof.
Hey,
Burrow he's tied for the league lead in interceptions.
who's that?
Burrow. So, you got to remember they're a young team.
Yep.
I agree. I think they have the highest ceiling. They could beat anybody with that offense. Their defense is okay.
Yeah, they're
but,
middle of the road.
But it's risky, too. Burrow's young. Obviously, Chase. I mean, they've got a young offense, and Burrow's made a lot of mistakes.
So I'm going to give you the same thing that I was telling you inside about this. And I'm a firm believer in this. That's the reason why maybe I lean more towards the Ravens. Been there, done that. Coaching staff, like what you were saying, it is very, very rare. Well, I'm gonna flip it around the other way quick. So a team that doesn't go through heartbreak, it's very hard for them just to go, we're a winner right now. You have to go through heartbreak when you're going through the process, and they're going through the process. They're bad, really bad a couple years ago. They were pretty good with Burrow. They showed some signs, but then he got banged up last year, but they were still kind of bad. And they've made that growth. They're making that step forward, right? So I think they're going to make the playoffs. They're still going to have a heart-crushing loss. I don't care who they get suited up against because you have to have that. I haven't seen it yet. The only time that you can sit here and try to put it back is that whenever, like, a tough loss players join up on the team, maybe. Like, for instance, I was bringing up, like, the Lakers when they all came in.
So they got to get their heart broken once, and that would be there, as our boy Dubs would say, a blessing in disguise.
In a way, yeah.
Okay.
So it's very rare to go from being nothing to you going to the playoffs and winning the Super Bowl is my point. It doesn't happen. There's going to be tough losses. There's going to be all that, and there's going to be growth. You grow from that. Look at Buffalo Bills last year. I mean, it looked like they had some of that too.
Heartbreak.
The only time this may have been there is maybe the Chiefs, if you want to make that argument for Patrick Mahomes. But tell me Andy Reid didn't go through that for the better part of his whole career. And the Chiefs in general up until that point,
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Patrick Mahomes, yes, but the rest of the team had felt that, the growing pains. So that's where I'm kind of leaning. The AFC West is tighter than what we think. This weekend especially is going to be huge. The Chargers and the Chiefs play each other. This is at the Chargers, but it's going to, like we always joke about, that's like another Chiefs home game, or any team that plays the Chargers at home. And the Broncos are at 7-6, still sneaking, kind of sneaking by with their defense right here, right? Who you got last in this one? AFC West coming down.
Chiefs, I think.
Yeah, this is a tough one here. Denver, they're all in a game.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, man, the Chargers schedule.
It looks like they all play, or at least the Broncos.
Chiefs,
The Broncos at least
Broncos.
play each other. All the other
the
teams.
Chargers play the Chiefs, Broncos, and the Raiders, and they also have the Texans in there. And they're at the Texans, but that's definitely a winnable game away. But at home against the Chiefs and the Broncos, and away at the Raiders. I tell you what, man, this is tough. This turned into a crazy division race.
Yeah.
The Raiders went on that roll, and
Then slowed down since
yeah,
then.
definitely slowed down.
And the Chiefs have been, I don't know. kind of doing what they have to, the wins still add up at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
Even if they don't look impressive, doesn't look like the Chiefs of old. They're still counting as victories. So,
I'm gonna say not the Broncos. Sorry, the Chargers end up pulling us out. I think Chiefs will falter a little bit. I don't think that offense is completely. That whole team is completely fixed. You got to play the Chargers. Steelers is going to be a tough out. Even though they're not that great, then you got to play the Bengals still, and then the Broncos at the Broncos. So that's going to be a tough game. So I'm going to pick the Chargers to go ahead and sneak that one out.
I think I'm riding with the Chargers on this one too. And this is going to solely go back on what I was saying. So the last 4 weeks, is that what we determined? 4 weeks the Chiefs defense has been showing up. So yes, it has. I throw the quotes up because it has been.
Yeah.
But you cannot fully depend on the blitz. That's where their defense has shown up, is because they bring the house.
Right. You're gonna get to a team that'll run checkdowns all day and then
Checkdowns, run screens,
all over you.
An experienced quarterback that'll read that get that hot read. They've been running into guys that haven't been able to handle that up to this point, right? That a full-on blitz team does not work. But it's been proven over time. So at some point, scheme means something, and the scheme isn't just full-on blitz. So,
yeah, I think this Thursday night game might determine the division.
Yep.
Because the Chargers don't have near the schedule Texans, Broncos, Raiders versus what the Chiefs have.
Yeah.
This could be everything.
This could be it right here, right?
Yeah.
For the Chargers. So I think it's everything for the Chiefs. The Chargers have a little more leeway. Not much.
Yeah.
Not much. I mean, I'm talking about like that. I mean, minimal to lose. If they were to lose, they still have a little more room to make it up. But this game is huge Thursday night.
Yep.
Chargers win. I think they finish off the division, barring injuries, barring COVID, any of this shit. And then if the Chiefs do that, technically it'll give them a 2-game cushion there before they go ahead and go through that little baby gauntlet of what they have to go through for their final 3.
Yeah, totally agree.
So I'm gonna ride with the Chargers.
Okay.
Chargers need to show up for this game. If there's any game you needed to, this is it right here, right? I think we all agree on that. So the NFC East is not anywhere in the ballpark.
Are you locking in the Patriots in their division, Jimmer?
I don't know. Buffalo could still come back in this one, or Miami. Miami's still been hot 3 games. No, I'm not going to talk completely ridiculous. Patriots, the only way they lose this division is if they completely fall apart, right? They'd have to completely fall apart, and Miami keeps the roll on.
Well, here's the deal.
Something's not right with Buffalo.
I think what's going to decide is these next 2 games. They got to go to the Colts and then play the Bills again. And the weather's not going to be that shitty again, I wouldn't imagine.
Yeah.
So we're going to really see what the Bills can do, and just not saying great weather, but because it's still
Right.
going to be in New England.
Yep.
But in better weather than what they had that night.
I totally agree. The Chiefs
So-
or the Patriots schedule isn't terrible. The toughest game is the Bills.
I'm going to say the Colts and the
Colts.
Bills.
At the Colts.
Boom,
And
boom,
the
back to
Colts.
back.
Yeah,
This
the
is what's going to, because the
That's-
Buffalo Bills have Panthers, Patriots, Falcons, Jets.
Yeah.
So if the Patriots slip up, them last
they
2 games.
They can't slip up in these 2, right?
Yeah, they
so this is
cannot.
theirs, right?
Yep.
They need to obviously go to Indy and win. Even if they don't win this game, let's say they don't win in Indy, because that's a tough road game, right?
Yep.
Yep.
They have to beat Buffalo again.
Yeah.
Because what you just reeled off there is not scary in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And if the Bills can't finish that off, they had no business being a part
in
of this
there anyways.
conversation in the
Yep.
first place, right?
Exactly.
Yep.
So am I completely writing them off? No, but it's looking like I'm going to have to go ahead and watch the Patriots in the playoffs
Yep.
with the home game. I shouldn't say they're going to make the playoffs, but with the home game. But Buffalo still has a strike, still has a shot. Miami, I don't know what their opponents are left, but Miami's been rolling. Let's not forget that either.
They won 5, yeah.
And the Patriots also, and this is one thing you can point at, the Patriots, even with Tom Brady in their heyday of being like the top team in the NFL on a regular basis, if you go back and look at Tom Brady's record at Miami with the Patriots, it is not good.
Yeah, what I worry about with the Dolphins, their schedule, they'll play the Jets this weekend. They should win that game. But then they have Saints, Titans,
Winnable
Saints is
game.
bad.
Saints, yeah.
Patriots. Saints
So,
defense.
The last
is
two
what-
Yeah.
games.
what
was-
What were the other two?
Titans and Patriots.
Okay. So those two are obviously,
Yeah.
but
Big
the
ones.
first two don't. You have way more respect for the Saints than I do. Way more.
Just the defense. Their defense is so good. If
It-
they could score 10 points, they should. They can
Yeah.
win a game. Like
Could,
that's how good
but
their defense is. But
I don't know. I'm not high on the Saints. They're the Saints.
Yeah.
So we're in the twilight part of the season, right? The Saints aren't going to the playoffs. Your defense is on the field all the time. They're going to get tired.
Yeah.
They may even start packing it in a little bit.
Your defense may be good, but when your offense is that bad, can't move the ball and get your defense off the field and get a breather. If you're always on there, eventually you're going to give up points.
So that one doesn't intimidate as much, but the other two for sure. Yes, agreed. So the Patriots, they need to win. If they win this next game, I think it's a sealed deal for the most part, right?
yeah, because even if the Bills
win,
out,
there's still two. Yeah, it'd be real difficult. Tennessee and Indianapolis, I think Tennessee has just done enough.
Yeah,
right?
and their schedule that they have left is not bad either.
Yeah, so I think that's enough to hold them off. I think Indy still gets a playoff spot though.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think you do.
I think it's a
slide
big
in.
game for them this week though. Like we were just talking about with the Patriots. If they win that, you get a little. Especially you two need to have a. I already know you have some
Canoodle
respect for them, but
session.
you have to have another. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
canoodle
Yep.
session there. Like, hold on, you beat your guys' top team,
Yeah.
even if it's at home. So, we'll go ahead and get to. We'll touch lightly on the East. Cowboys, Washington, I think sealed their deal. Even if they,
Yeah.
technically, mathematically, they're not out of winning that division, but the chances are your best shot when Dak. By the way, Dak looked like shit in that game.
Dak
100%.
hasn't
Yes.
looked good in a while, man.
He
Yeah,
hasn't looked
Dak
good in a little
hasn't.
while. Well, not a while. He did look good on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah.
The team lost.
Team lost.
He did good on Thanksgiving Day.
NFL just better hope that offense doesn't turn around and look like it did at the beginning of the season because the defense is balling out. Has been last couple games.
So I think Washington's done. They sealed theirs because they should have pulled off that. Like they were down, they crawled back in, and then they end up costing themselves in a couple dumb plays themselves too. So the only shot in that one for me is Philadelphia, and that's because they've been playing hot football too. I think they have one loss. Do they even have a loss in the last month?
Yeah.
I think
They might have one, and it was close then, right? Because
They lost to the Giants.
Yeah, they
In a
lost to the
close game.
Giants
In a close one.
In
Okay.
a horrible game, 13-7.
yeah. So, which we all full blown talk about the division being tough games and stuff like that. So I don't chalk that up as anything.
You're right,
bad.
though. I mean, they've got Washington twice, the Giants and the Cowboys.
And everything is in their hands, right? Outside of the Cowboys have to slip up, but they have. What'd you say? They have one Cowboys game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last game of the season.
So they can gain one of them back there, but they do need some help, obviously. But they're the hottest team outside of inside that division, is what I'm saying. Now that Washington showed a little bit of their colors, Heineke got murdered in that game. NFC North, there's really nothing there. That's the Packers, but they're not looking impressive. I really don't think they have a shot at a Super Bowl. Let's make that clear. There's too many gaps. Aaron Rodgers hasn't been playing that well, and I guess his foot actually took a setback in this last game. His like in worse condition.
yeah, it's not going to get better.
No,
you
but
know?
but you're hoping. They were hoping, not me. They were hoping to at least stay even with what it was. Evidently, there was more damage made. But that's to me, that's one of the most unimpressive 10-win teams there is to me. Like, they better hope they end up at Lambeau for the playoffs. Tampa Bay, obviously clear cut NFC South.
Yeah.
Falcons, weirdly, they got to be so mad at, like, I'm talking about, like, anyone that's trying to build that team or maybe even fans at this point. Like, I'd be mad if I was a Falcons fan. I'm like, could you just lose so I can get a top 5 pick for the love of God? Because you know you're not going to roll with Matt Ryan, right, for the rest.
Yeah.
Right.
So let's get some more shit to build on here. And you guys just weirdly 6-7.
Yeah, gonna justify taking that quarterback. Got to fall out, right?
Yep. I don't know if he's going to fall out of there, though. But
Yeah.
that being said, and the most interesting, tightest division outside of the AFC North, the NFC West, after the Rams dismantled the Cardinals. When I mean dismantled, they had them again, like they were beating on them, and then the Cardinals kind of borderline came back. But Cardinals 10-3, Rams 9-4. San Francisco's been rolling here recently too. Now I'm not saying San Fran has a shot at the division.
I'm gonna say I think San Fran's out. I mean, they've been playing decent football lately. I think it's too late. Too late for them to make that push. You know,
For
they
the
should've-
division, right?
Yeah, for the division, they should have
absolutely.
started
Yep.
for division. It's going to be between the Rams and the Cardinals, and
And I don't know how this one finishes out.
I
This
don't
one was
know.
really tough for me.
Right,
it really
because-
was.
you know, the last couple of weeks we looked at the Rams and it just wasn't the same Rams we thought it was.
Yep.
So then that's why I picked Cardinals tonight because they'd been, you know, beating people with the backup quarterback. And then, okay, you get everybody back, and then you just get throttled by the Rams who come back and look like their old self. Yeah, it's just whoever wants to take it.
So with the Rams remaining schedule, they have the Seahawks this week, which we know. Yes, let's go ahead. We'll slap the division title on it, but the Seahawks have been abysmal this year.
Yeah.
They are at the Vikings. That doesn't mean much. It really doesn't. Ravens,
Oh, we
which
know.
which depends when they get over to Baltimore. It is at Baltimore too, by the way. So West Coast going East Coast. You know what my belief is on that. And then they have the Niners to close out the year. That's not a very easy schedule. I'm not saying it's a hard schedule, but it's not. That isn't where they would want to be. That isn't where they would want to finish off their season there. I'm about to pull up the Cardinals right now. I think the Cardinals eke this out. If I had to just wing one out there, even without DeAndre, they have too many weapons. They only lost one game, missing DeAndre Hopkins and Kyler Murray for a month. So it's showing that they're a well-rounded team. They have the Lions, Colts, Cowboys, Seahawks, all winnable. The Colts is at home in Arizona. But Lions, Cowboys are this, and the Seahawks, like what we just talked about. So if I had to put one on there, I'd probably say the Cardinals. And they already had the one-game lead on there anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't know. It depends on which Rams team is going to show up. You know, we've had them look really bad these last couple weeks, and then come back and look good the next couple weeks. So, yeah, don't know.
Put it out there.
I'm gonna go ahead and say the Rams. They gotta face the Seahawks, Vikings, a beat up Ravens team, and 49ers. Which yes, that's division, but I think that has passed. If the Rams come and play like I think they can win all four of those games.
Okay.
Yep. You know I'm riding the Rams here.
Yeah. We know you're riding it for more than one reason, though.
That last game with the Rams and Niners could be everything because the Cardinals. So they should beat the Lions and the Seahawks, right? But they do play the Colts and the Cowboys. Both of those teams can beat the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Who'd you say? The Cowboys and who?
Colts. Both of those teams can beat the Cardinals.
Is that Colts game in the desert?
It's in Arizona. Yep.
Okay.
And the Colts are going to be fighting for a playoff spot because they're not going to win the division,
Right.
right? So that anyway, my point is that last game with the Rams and Niners could actually determine that division if they beat the Niners. The Niners schedule, I think they make the playoffs. They should end up with 9 wins, possibly 10 if they eke one out. But I mean, they play the Falcons, they should win that. Play the Texans, should win that.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe they
gotta
could beat the Titans even. I mean, I don't know what team they'll show up there, but
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
could end
I
up with a
think they
few
could
10-win
sneak in.
teams, man, on that
I think
division.
they can maybe sneak
Well-
in, but division-wise, I think they're out of the race for division.
I agree with that, yeah. I think we could end up with 3 10-win teams in that division, though.
Who'd you say the Niners have?
Well,
Sorry,
so-
I'll pull it up if you didn't have it. I didn't know if you
yeah,
saw
go
it
ahead
up
and
right
pull
there.
it up.
All right, so you had Falcons, Titans, Texans, Rams. So they're losing 2 of those for sure. So if they're losing 2, yeah, they're not. They're gonna be a 9-win team.
Oh, so
Kind of like the
that's
Giants
it.
were
They're gonna be,
going
they're
That's
to
gonna
just
be a
it.
9-win
9-win
team.
team.
That's it. Oh,
They're gonna be a 9-win team. They're gonna be the Giants of the West. It's okay. So
That's what he meant when he said
at best, and I bet I could still see them getting upset by like the Falcons or Texans by something stupid, not because it makes any sense in any way, shape, or form, just because that's how the NFL has been weirdly.
Now they'll be throwing them games trying to get one of them top pass rushers.
Not Matt Ryan. He can be out there winging.
Wing
To-
it, baby.
To
And Davis
Cordero.
Mills. Yeah, to Cordero. Slowly trying to turn this into the NBA with positionless players.
Yeah, I saw his list as like backup safety and stuff like that.
Cordero is?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But that being said, I may want to. I may want to flip this. I may want to go Rams.
Uh-oh.
That was the early season pick.
It was. That's the reason why I'm borderline thinking it too. Yeah. Let's ride it. I'm gonna ride the
Rams, baby.
But it's still gonna be like by one, whatever the tiebreaker is. I don't know if they even have the tiebreaker against Arizona. I think it's NFC opponents or common opponents, one of the two.
Division, probably.
They may end up with the same exact record.
Yeah,
outside.
agreed.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yep.
So it's gonna be whatever the math breaks down at that point. But Arizona's been special this year. Legit Super Bowl contender.
Legit.
They're
Yep.
not a Super Bowl contender.
Yes.
What?
I know. Yeah.
No.
What?
If the Patriots are Super
Are
Bowl
you
contenders,
serious?
so are they.
There's 2 Super Bowl contenders in the NFC. Okay?
Please educate us.
It's the Rams and the Bucks.
Get out of here, dude. What the hell?
Stop.
Stop
The
it. Are
Cardinals
you
are not
kidding
All
me?
three of them.
Contenders.
All three of them.
Dude,
are. Yes.
yes.
All three of them are.
Yes.
No.
Yeah. That's your hatred, just like me saying with the Patriots.
they're not.
The Patriots aren't Super Bowl
That's it.
contenders,
Yes.
but they are a damn good team.
Yeah, they're
which
gonna
I
be
have
a
to eat.
they're gonna be a
But the
threat
Cardinals
to anybody.
are. The Cardinals are. They've proven that all year.
No, I think the Patriots are gonna be a threat to get into the Super Bowl.
But yeah, so you said you think they could be a threat, but do you think they're a Super Bowl contender? Is more.
Yeah, on that side, absolutely, I do.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the weak ass AFC.
Doesn't matter. They still play
Wow.
in the NFL
Yeah.
on that side who produces a team to be in the Super Bowl.
True that. But yeah,
So,
but
yes.
you're over there being absolutely ridiculous.
Based
the
on that,
Cardinals
yes,
are
sir.
not a Super
But
Bowl
yeah, the
contender.
Cardinals not. Are you kidding me?
Come on.
What the hell?
Nope, I'm still not on board, man.
How are you not on board?
I saw more. That
You know what? I ought to be
on
all
Monday
with you. You
night,
said
man.
Cowboys, but now that you said Arizona wasn't, I'm totally against you.
There's 3, in my opinion, in the NFC. There's 3 100% legit contenders, and you named 2 of them, and then you backed off the third one.
There was no back
Whatever.
off. They just weren't included.
Yeah, they should be
It's,
included.
Who's your 3? You said Rams,
Buccaneers, Rams,
Bucks,
Cardinals.
Cardinals.
Cowboys, or something isn't there. Like together, like at the
Right.
same time.
I
Something
think
has always
they're
been-
going to be really scary if that offense goes back to what it was, because the defense is all of a sudden balling
right,
out.
right. But then the defense,
So,
when it has been,
they're not
it
clicking.
falls off the other way when the
Right,
offense is
right,
clicking.
and I
It's
get-
like
that's why I'm
something
not-
isn't quite right.
That's what I'm saying. It's usually one or the other not working and one working.
Yeah, I don't have that's the reason why I don't have an exact answer for you, and maybe
Yeah.
I'm going against completely the Mike McCarthy thing here.
Yeah.
I would have more confidence. Believe it or not, I may be sounding crazy here. If they were the same position right now, I might have had more faith in Jason Garrett
Yikes.
than Mike McCarthy.
I don't know.
When it
There's
comes
so
to-
much
when it comes
talent
to
on this
playoffs, we'll
team.
find
Just they got to find consistency.
And I think the Packers are some of the biggest frauds of.
I think they are.
I
I am with you there. I think they're the biggest frauds of the year.
Yeah.
10. You talked about the 10-win. Like that's the weakest 10-win team. I think. Oh, absolutely. I don't think that defense is near as good as what
It's
it
what's
has
been
been happening.
Yeah, like what's been happening just doesn't feel authentic,
Right.
right?
No, it doesn't.
He hasn't been playing that well,
Especially when you get to
either.
play the Bears and the Detroit twice a year. Like
Yeah.
what the hell?
and really bad. And then I don't know, it's just something isn't right there either. And let's also not forget, which I'm sure you guys don't forget that, but Aaron Rodgers is not the same man in the playoffs.
Right.
He is one of the best of all time, especially regular season. And I understand he has a Super Bowl win, so I know you're gonna throw that in there. But when you look at his rest of his overall playoff record and how he plays in those games and the eye test when they have even won, it might not even been because of him. You know what I mean? Something just isn't, and it's still the same to me. It's still the same right now. So unless these games are played in Lambeau in the frigid winter, you better hope that it isn't even a hungrier team. I don't know. I don't think they've went through nearly the same injuries that everybody else has. They had 1 week with no receivers, and they had an Aaron Rodgers no week, right? And yes, they pulled off an upset against Arizona at Arizona. Right? It was at Arizona, right?
That I don't know. I do.
Is that? Oh yeah. So it was there. So
beat-
Arizona has a 7-0 record
They beat the
on
Chiefs
the road.
in
by
Arrowhead.
the way.
I know, so that everybody was excited about that.
Yeah. But
Um,
against the Chiefs, that when at that time were definitely floundering, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So these to me weren't. Nothing about this has been
I know. I thought they've been frauds the whole time, but they just, you know, my take on the Panthers, pretenders all the way, but they've been winning, unfortunately. So but I think they're the biggest fraud, 10-win fraud for sure.
Yeah, if things stacked up the way we think they will, who would get the bye? Like the Bucks and the Rams-ish, right?
Well, technically, the Packers still have a shot at that.
Right, the Packers do. So let's just say like the
So their remaining schedule, quick, so you know, for the Packers, they do have kind of a tough one. Ravens, but they get the Ravens banged up.
Yeah.
Browns, that is at Lambeau, which you don't know what Browns.
That could be a tough game.
That could be a tough game.
Be a
That defense has
running
been
game,
balling.
man.
It'll be a run
Yeah.
game. Vikings, and that is at home for them. That's on Sunday Night Football. And they finish off against the Lions.
Yeah, so that's
So they have
they could slide
they could
for sure.
they have
The reason I even brought that up is the team that they would end up playing is like the Niners, right? In the first round. I could see the Niners going there and beating them. Like, I'm just to add on to your point, like, I don't think they're solid enough to beat anybody in the first round. Not who's out there right now. Who would it be? The
you
Niners
wouldn't be
and
okay.
the
So I like where I would
Vikings?
say
I
exactly
don't know who's there.
where I'd agree with you is, and where I agree with is you wouldn't be shocked by any one of those teams that make the playoffs to actually beat the Packers.
Beat the Packers.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't
Yeah.
at the end of the God, I've never seen that
Yeah.
coming.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yep.
There's not a team that you're looking at. There's like, okay, yeah, I could see that happening. Like
Right.
you wouldn't be
Right.
shocked when it happens. The only thing that you'd be shocked by is maybe the score if they got blown out or something. That's the only thing you'd be shocked by. You wouldn't be shocked by them losing.
Yep, exactly.
There's nothing that makes you feel like, oh yeah, this is the clear cut favorite. That isn't the case in my opinion. But
Yeah.
Vikings are one slot out, so I do believe it is. Or Washington lost.
No, you're in. Washington's in too.
I think it's
Washington has 7, Minnesota's at 8.
so Niners.
No,
Vikes,
there's only 7
and
teams.
Washington.
Oh, just the first one gets the bye.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're
yeah,
one out.
You're one out.
We're I think it's by a conference record. I think.
It is based on best win percentage in conference games.
There you go.
Division
and I think they
tie
have
was
one
used
more.
to eliminate Philly. So yeah, it's just because they have it over Atlanta and Minnesota based on best win percentage in conference games.
Yep. And I haven't looked at. So Minnesota has a tough stretch too, though. So I don't see that happening. They have the Rams. They have the Packers. Yeah, who's the other one off the top of my head? The other couple.
We got the Bears again.
We do have the Bears again.
Yeah.
And we had the Bears twice. We had the Bears
It's in
Bears
their
coming up this week. Then we had the Bears at the end of the season. Then we had the Rams Packers. We are at the Packers. So that's not the 2 Bears games. Yeah, whatever could. We'll
Right.
see. But they also, what we also tend to forget, we think the Bears are really bad, and we know they're bad, right?
They tend to beat us when they.
But they tend to beat us when they shouldn't. Number one, and number two, they for whatever reason always beat us at Soldier Field. Well, I don't even know if Zimmer's won a game at Soldier Field since he's been a head coach. So, all right, how are we sitting, gentlemen?
We're sitting good. I think.
Cool.
I mean, a couple things we probably got to correct on your end.
Never.
For what you think is going to happen.
Definitely.
Never need to do that.
Definitely.
But
So-
besides that,
My man, Rio. You
Yeah.
said you had our make sense if you don't think about what do you got.
Sure.
Sure.
I thought it'd be funny and appropriate to throw this one up on the week that OJ gets formally cleared of everything, right? And he's a totally free man, right?
Yeah.
So speaking of the gloves don't fit, right? Gloves don't fit, free man.
Yeah.
So my best buddy.
If the gloves
One of
don't fit, you must have quit.
Yeah. So this is one of my best buddies from back home in Texas, and I'm not going to say his name, but for those of you that know me, you could probably narrow it down to a couple guys and make your picks based on that. But my really good buddy and good friend, he told me this whole story, and kind of made me laugh. But he's like, yeah, man, I'm getting it on with my girlfriend and this and that. Right, things are getting hot and heavy, and I don't have a condom. And I was like, what? That's crazy. He's like, yeah, man, so, I'm not doing the whole pull-out method deal because, I don't want any kids. So I do the next best thing. I was like, yeah, what's that? I grab a plastic baggie. And I go, elaborate, please. He's like, yeah, man, I used a plastic baggie as a condom because it was just the only thing I had. I'm like, you couldn't drive 5 minutes away to the store and get a condom to use? Are you kidding me?
Oh my.
So I thought appropriate on the whole glove, the glove don't fit thing to bring this up because this dude literally told me he used a condom, a baggie, like a sandwich baggie as a condom when having sexual intercourse with his girlfriend. So, folks, it makes sense if you don't think about it. This dude lived like 5 minutes from the store. 5 minutes. Yeah. In a plastic sandwich baggie. And used it as a condom. Yes.
What do you do? Zip that thing around to tighten
I
her
don't
up?
know.
Like-
Maybe a rubber band. I don't know.
Hopefully,
my
hopefully
gosh.
you didn't get no cheap ones. Hopefully it was at least
yeah.
Ziploc brand.
Oh, she didn't get pregnant. She didn't get pregnant, so it must have been one of them Glad types,
dude.
hefty, the Ziploc bags. Because,
What the hell,
it was
man?
all kosher, but oh my
Jesus.
gosh, I laugh and still laugh to this day. So, for you fella, if you're listening, know who you are. I didn't say your name, so
Just
don't
remember.
Don't hate me, but
Hey.
it makes sense if you don't think about it.
Oh my god.
Hey, don't do that.
Do not
Don't
do
do
that.
that.
Don't do that.
Do not
Practice
do
it.
Oh
that.
my
sex.
god.
And safe sex is either don't have it or go drive 5 minutes to a condom.
100%.
God.
Oh, yeah. Imagine her. Like, what the hell are you
Well, she must have wanted it that bad that she was down with the
down with
fucking-
it, yeah.
Yeah.
No
Hold it up in
kidding.
there. Damn.
Oh, man.
She's like, ooh, is that a dental dam? No, it's not. It's got something else for you.
Oh, shit.
Not rib for her pleasure.
No.
Classic.
The scraping. God damn. What the hell, man?
Dude, legit. He told me this story 100%. Legit.
Oh my God.
Oh, man.
I hope he threw it away and didn't put it back in the drawer.
Right. Actually
Or
put
put
a
it
a
or put it in the
sandwich in it,
fridge.
took it
But-
to school or something.
Right.
Oh, what's
yeah.
that
this?
mayo?
We're saving we're saving yogurt in plastic bags now.
Oh my god.
Who put lotion in a sandwich baggie?
Moisturizer.
Oh,
Mom
this is my
gets in there.
moisturizer cream.
The hell, man.
Oh,
Oh my God.
love it. Got to love it.
Hey,
Oh,
what-
man.
Only
What,
in Texas.
Mm,
Only
what
in
high school
Texas.
What the
days,
chase
so-
of what a chase of that sweet nectar will do to a man.
sweet nectar.
Like anything. What do we got around
Oh,
here?
that was back in our high school days, so young and dumb,
Young and dumb.
But makes sense if you don't think about it,
Yeah.
folks.
Man. All right, Jimmer. You got some words of wisdom for the folks?
You know I do.
Don't wrap your ding dong in.
Right.
Yeah, that could have been either
That
or.
could have
man.
been both.
Yeah.
So I got one for you.
Let's hear.
When you do a night of adult beverages in the woods in Arizona in the mountains, and we're not talking like a normal campsite. We're talking like true wilderness. You do a bunch of drinking with a bunch of family, friends, whatever, and you know what tends to happen to your body. Now, it isn't necessarily about the person that went and did the deed. It is the person that decided to take the same trail up. What I'm getting at is, if you don't know this, sometimes when you drink too much alcohol, the next day you may have to defecate.
Poopy.
Yeah, so, and like I said, this is not a campsite, so you are shitting in the woods. I don't know if a bear shits in the woods, but I know grown men do.
Okay.
So the words of wisdom is you got to go. You know what you guys did the night before in drinking. Don't follow the same trail, because you may run into what looks like and is perceived as a murder scene. There's literally shit splattered everywhere.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. You literally like, what the hell? There's animals up here, fucking critter. I'm like, oh my
Yes.
God, is that a goddamn corn?
Eating
Is that a chunk of corn?
Right, eating Taco Jerry's and
Yeah, just blowing out, and you almost like run right into it. And of course, it's in the perfect spot. Like everywhere else you look around, there's no other place that you could comfortably take a shit. This has like a place where you can like hang your ass over on a branch and like you had some cover and it's down kind of in a hole, but he missed the hole. It was everywhere else. So words of wisdom, just don't follow upwind.
Do not follow upwind.
Do not follow upwind after a night of drinking.
After a night of drinking.
You got it.
You got it. Trust me.
You got it.
Murder scene.
Yeah.
Speaking, since OJ was kind of the comfort, the
Yes.
conversation of this technical podcast, this I assume looked like what happened that night that he got away with it. It was bad.
Glove didn't fit.
I didn't see a glove. But almost anything.
Neither
else.
did my buddy either.
I won't say the person I followed, but it rhymes with Danny G.
Whoa.
It does. And let me
crazy.
just say,
He tried to defend himself. Let me just say, clarify.
I wasn't going to.
I just,
They're all quiet.
I just to
Guilty
clarify one
party
thing,
over here.
I don't know why this man would follow me. He knew what I just did.
No, it
And
didn't
he
register.
decides to, I'm just going to go where he
Dude,
just
you'd
took
been
a shit.
you'd been drinking. How's he supposed to know?
I had no. So it didn't dawn on me until I got there. I'm like, motherfucker's doing the same thing. I didn't know he's going to take a shit. And he must have walked around a different way. Either he was laughing around the corner while I'm sitting there investigating the murder scene. I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
That's crazy.
Yeah, you investigated a little too much. I would've
No,
just
I turned
walked
and
away.
ran the other way. Turned and ran. I'm like, ah!
Yeah, there was some screaming.
Screaming and
What the
crying.
fuck?
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so there you go.
Yeah, great words of wisdom. Definitely follow Jimmer's advice. Don't follow his actions
Yeah.
on that end. And don't use a fucking Ziploc bag.
Do not.
For the love of God,
For the
do not
love
do
of
that.
God.
Don't do that. I don't. Oh my god. High school kids.
High school kids
Like,
those days.
those days. man. No shit. Well, hey, thanks everybody for listening. The podcast is available everywhere you find your podcasts.
Mhm.
Apple, Spotify, the whole nine, Facebook podcasts. And we've got a YouTube video up of tonight's podcast as well. We thought it was going to be Storm of the Century. Did not happen,
Nope.
Did not happen.
which is always good. But
Yeah.
keep
I
up
was
the comments.
Throw my trash in my backyard, hoping it'd blow into my neighbor's yard.
Didn't happen.
Didn't happen. So
And
I
your
gotta-
boat didn't either.
yeah, I gotta clean that up.
Yeah, damn.
Take it back inside, damn it.
No shit. All right, guys. Hey, shout out again to Hess Germany, by the way.
Yes. Hess,
See, it's up
Germany.
to 2%
2%.
listening, so that's either multiple people or this dude is a dude or female is an avid fan. So we appreciate you.
Yeah, 100%. Well, hey, we're going to let everybody get back to it. Jimmer's got to go to work here pretty soon.
Yep.
So this is 3 Gig Sports.
We out.
Something from nothing, no hindsight discussions. I've been writing, I love it. All this doubt around me, damn it, look, I got it right.